You're listening to WDBFradio.com, a tune-in station.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
Que Pasa Mexican Cantina is where friends and neighbors come to connect, share, and celebrate one another in a festive, casual atmosphere. Offering rich, robust flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine, we use only the freshest, finest ingredients. We chop and dice, season and blend, and then cook everything we serve to perfection. One thing that makes Mexican food even better is one of our delicious Best of the Bay margaritas. Our signature series of margarita flavors range from our sweet and fruity mango and strawberry to our hot and juicy jalapeno margarita. Having a busy meeting or getting together and looking for Mexican food? Try our Fast Fax form. It's an easy, fast way to order your favorite Mexican food. We have special platters and layouts for any occasion. The form is super easy to fill out, fax, email, or just call it in. Whether it's here in the restaurant, in your home or office, at Que Pasa we celebrate bringing people together. Que Pasa Mexican Cantina, 10478 Roosevelt Boulevard North Street in the Gateway Shopping Center, 727-330-3663 in St. Petersburg.
Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Hey, this is Captain Hook for Statewide Pest Control Services. They've been serving the west coast of Florida since 1987. Statewide does it all. Pest control, termites, lawns, mosquitoes, tent fumigations, etc. This announcement is from their mold division. Since Hurricane Charlie in 2004, all their personnel are certified in mold and moisture control. Their two-step services are guaranteed to get you back in your home quicker and in most cases paid by your insurance company. Give them a call at 877-488-7378. That's Statewide Pest Control Services for all your pest and mold control needs, serving Florida from Pasco to Lee counties. Statewide Pest Control Services, 877-488-7378. 877-488-7378. That's 877-488-7378. You're listening to WDBFradio.com, a tune-in station.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you. Every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m., on the WDBF Radio Network. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
Good morning, South Florida. My goodness, it's another one of those crisp mornings. I didn't think it was quite so cold when I got out there, but I'm checking the temperature and it's 48 degrees out here where I'm at. I'm sure it's warming up quickly because the sun is up and we've got a beautiful day ahead of us. Good morning, Devin.
Good morning. Good morning. You must be cold over there, Riscala. 48 degrees. That's like freezing temperatures for Florida.
Can you tell them I'm a Florida boy? I've got my hoodie on. I'm in the house and I have my hoodie on. How do you like that?
Hey, whatever works, whatever works. I'm wearing a light jacket and I'm kind of getting a little warm, but that's okay.
Well, we can always take a little clothing off. We are in private here, but let's not go too far here. All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you for taking time to listen. This is the Fish Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala, and my sidekick, Devin, and we have a complete line of guests for you this morning that are going to be coming on and sharing with you a variety of information, whether that is a fishing report, a hunting report, whatever that might be. And hopefully it's information that you'll be able to use to enjoy the outdoors. As Devin likes to say, and I like so much, bringing the outdoors to you. So what's going on, Devin? What's new?
What's new? The fishing has, it is the winter time and our water does get a little choppier out here. So there's times where you can't go fishing. There's times where you can. Today the wind's supposed to pick up in the evening, so everybody should be in. We think we're supposed to have a small craft advisory, but other than that, during the week, the fishing has been good. I've saw some wahoo being caught. The snapper bite is still okay. The kingfish, they're still here. The smaller ones are still here. That's the wonderful thing about Florida. Although some of the species do migrate and some of the bite does slow down, you're still able to catch those in our waters almost year round.
Wow. I'm going to have a guest on today. His name is Sandy Moret. And he does something, I wanted to ask you this because I had heard about this, but I really didn't realize how big it was. He does fly fishing for sailfish.
I have heard of it, fly fishing for sailfish. I've heard of it. It's starting to get popular. It's something.
Oh, my goodness. Could you imagine a sailfish with a fly? Now, I've heard of people fly fishing for tarpon. I've heard of that, but I've never heard of fly fishing for sailfish. I could not imagine having a sail on with one of these rods. So he's going to describe that to us today.
So most of those sailfish, it's when they're fly fishing for them, you have somebody sitting on the fly bridge or the top of the tuna tower, some people call it, to spot the fish. And some of these fish do run on top of the water for the majority of them when they're cruising. So you can see them and you sight fish them. You cast right to them, get that bait right in front of them.
Wow.
And
a very visual thing. That's the one thing I can say about sails and marlins. Very, very visual. They come up to the top, they skim the water, they jump, we're back down again. So anyway, we'll have him on in a little while. He's going to describe. I was very, very interested, very intrigued that there was a very expensive tournament going on up in Fort Pierce last week that was fly fishing.
Fly fishing is another one that's an expensive sport in the fishing
Well,
genre.
if you're a hardcore fisherman and angler and you want the greatest challenge, I can't imagine what kind of a challenge it would be. Now, he told me some of and we'll get into this when he gets on, but he told me some of these rods are like 9 feet.
Oh, yeah.
A 9-foot rod, and you see how flexible they are, right?
Oh, yeah.
You got a sail on you. Oh, my goodness. I couldn't imagine. I just could not imagine. So one of the other people that will be coming on with us today will be Pasta Tantaleo. Pasta's a well-known artist down there in the Keys. He's going to give us a fishing report. Who else have we got coming on? Jim Seymour. Jim Seymour is with Hunting in Florida. He's going to give us a report about hunting towards I think he's in the central or north central part of Florida. And then we have the one and only, thank you God for, Victoria Brinkley. She's going to be coming on and talking a little bit about the app and how the app came to be and some of the advantages of the app. Frank Danish. I've been saying his name incorrectly, so please forgive me, Frank. His name is Frank Danish, not Frank Danish.
I would like a Danish right now. That sounds pretty good.
And Frank is with Adopt a Cop. One of my passions is to bring together the people and our last line of defense, the police force, because they are being played against each other, and we need to do whatever we can to bridge that relationship. And let's see who else.
Let's not forget about Sandy Moret.
Oh, yeah. And let's see who else we got. We got Tim Ortigo. Tim is going to be calling in from Louisiana, telling us about some of the hunting that's going on out there. I think they've been doing some duck hunting out there. And then finally we'll have Robert. Robert from the Fishing Florida magazine, a very interesting individual, always has a lot of information, fishing reports, and a wide variety of other things to tell us about different derbies and stuff like that. I am a 100% backer of anything that will help support the family. And fishing helps support the family. That's what we're all about.
We have an exciting show this morning. Many more guests that have not been mentioned yet, so it's going to be a fun show today.
All right, and let's see. Let's go ahead and bring the first one in. Are we ready for the first one? It looks like we are. Pasta Tantaleo, good morning, sir, and welcome to the Fish Florida Show.
Yeah, good morning to you guys. Thank you for having me.
We are enjoying this brisk, crisp morning.
Pasta, how's the weather down in the Keys?
Yeah. Yeah, the Keys are great. I'm actually up in Fort Pierce at a sailfish tournament at the Pelican Yacht Club this week. I was the host artist and did a live painting of sailfish and brought a bunch of my paintings up to the yacht club. And we had a 5 days of fishing, sail fishing, and this is a great tournament up here in Fort Pierce at the Pelican Yacht Club. I'll tell you why. It's an old school tournament. It's all big battle wagons, kind of a throwback. Not a lot of skiffs and open fishermen running around at 100 miles an hour. These guys are all 50 and 60, 70. Last year there was a 92-foot sport fish in the fleet. It was 26 boats over 5 days. They had one lay day. Over 350 fish were caught between 25 boats. And they had some good weather and some good fishing in between some not so great weather. But when these boats go out the inlet in the morning, it's a sight to be seen. They hit that ocean, and it's just big bow sprays, and they're all going off fishing all day, and the flags are flying in the afternoon. So it's a great tournament, and they do a great job. It's annual, and it's very traditional. So I had a lot of fun at the tournament.
Pasta, this is the tournament that is the fly fishing tournament. Is that correct?
Inlet right now. So that's one
Pasta,
thing that's going on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is this the fly fishing tournament you're talking about?
No, this is the Fort Pierce the Pelican Yacht Club tournament that I do every year as the host artist. Sandy Moret's tournament. I also did the awards for the sail fly tournament. I know you're going to talk to Sandy a little bit about that later. And that is a great tournament. It's a small, a small group of guys that kind of fish that thing, and it's kind of like a hot dog tournament with the best of the best. Because traditionally, teasing up sailfish and pitching a fly to them is not something that is prevalent here as it is like maybe in Costa Rica and different places where those fish are lit up and you can actually, tease them up all day long. And one of the rules here is you can't dredge or you can't troll the fly. You can tease the fish up with a bait, but the bait's got to be retrieved in the boat, and the boat's got to be in neutral, and then you're going to have to throw the fly. If you know anything about Alamorada fly fishing, is we got the best fly fisher in the world because the guys are used to tarpon fishing in inclement weather, like a lot of wind, and these guys can pitch a fly in a rough sea and get it out to that sailfish. And it's a small group, it's a high end group, and Sandy Moret does a great job with this, and it's kind of revered. Only a few fish are caught, and to bring a fish to the boat, you get a certain amount of points. So he'll tell you all about the particulars. But I'm proud to be involved in that tournament as well. I painted original sailfish paintings for that tournament. So it's pretty high end, astute group, and bragging rights. It's all about bragging rights for that tournament.
So we've been discussing sailfish over the past couple of weeks. Tell us a little bit about the winner. How many fish did they bag for the weekend? The week, I should say.
I don't know what the sail fly did. Sandy will know that. Over 350 were at the Pelican Yacht Club in Fort Pierce. And the sail fishing has been really good. Up around the Gold Coast over here, you got the Palm Beaches, you got the Gulf Stream cutting right in real close off Fort Pierce Inlet. So, the sail fishing has been tremendously good up and down. And even in the Keys, as I said, when you talk about several weeks ago when we were out there around Alligator Light, Conch Reef, the frigate birds are just going nuts. And wow. Between the wahoo and the sailfish, it's been pretty good fishery. And we've had a good go of it this year. I mean, I can't say enough about the way things are going after Irma. You kind of wonder, and things happen, and the fishermen want to get out to their spots and see what Irma did out there, and nature. It's uncharted territory with Mother Nature, and we didn't know what the fishing was going to be like. But I think it was red hot and better than ever after the storm, and that's why I encourage people to get down there and seek a boat and go fishing, because the fishing is good.
I would have to say, Pasta, it's been one of the best years for fishing in a long time. I've seen a lot of fish being caught, and it is those pelagic species like the sailfish, they are moving in. It's their time of year, but overall it's been a great year for fishing.
Yeah, and I think conservation has come a long way and over the years and building for the future. So you are seeing larger numbers of fish. We're taking less fish over the years. Bait's been really good. as long as there's bait, we have game fish, and protecting that bait, and protecting the estuaries and all the rivers and St. Lucie and all that, that's a big important part, and it all ends up on the reef and inland, and that's why conservation is so great for our children. So let's all keep that up, the sportsmen out there. I paint them, you guys catch them, and that's the way the circle goes.
Absolutely, and we do have another big tournament going down in the Keys right now. It's the opening of the KDW, the first KDW for the year. Big SKA tournament down in the Keys.
Yeah, I think that might be out of Key West, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
Key West has a Kingfish tournament. I'm not sure.
So we'll see how at the end of this weekend what the report is from them and how many fish they bagged and who won that one. I want to see a nice big king on the board. Usually Key West does produce the 40 to 60 pound kings at this time of year.
Yeah, those guys are great down there. I mean, the fishery down there has always been red hot, and the big kingfish and the guys that fish for them are the top of the top. They come with those big, fast triple and quad boats and chase those fish,
Yeah, you're talking big triple quad boats, 40 feet down to 32 feet. That these boats are moving 78 miles an hour on the water. And the slowest boat is probably moving 60, 65 miles an hour.
Yeah, that sport has gotten to be a little like NASCAR,
Who has the fastest contender? That's what that sport's become.
Hey, I'm glad you said contender. That's my fave.
So, did we ask you how cold it is where you are?
Yeah, today the cold front came back in, and we got mild weather during the week, and then it came back in late last night. I think it was 51 this morning. It wasn't horrible. I think it's going to go up to about 58. And I'm heading down to Islamorada in about an hour to get back to my neighborhood. I got my boat sitting on the lift and hadn't used it in a little bit, so I'm getting back to Islamorada later today and start looking for bait this week and see if I can get me a sailfish,
Wow. Well, we do appreciate you so much calling in, Pasta, and I do have pictures of some of Pasta's artwork on the website. You can go to www.fishfloridashow.com, and you can see some of his artwork there. Amazing stuff. It really is. I like that big fish he's standing next to. He's got this fish that's like 6 feet long that he's standing next to. The thing looks absolutely awesome.
Pasta, and send us some pictures of your catches when you're down there. We want to see some fish. We'll throw them up on our social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, go to artbypasta.com as well. We're in the heart of Islamorada. If you're driving through, stop, say hello, say, hey, I heard you guys on Fish in Florida. We'll give you a little extra love for mentioning that. And just come down and visit, man. It's a great place, and we're having a good time down there in the Keys.
Perfect, guys. So, Pasta, tell the listeners one more time where they can find you on the web and where they can find you at home.
Okay, it's going to be artbypasta.com is the website, and it's a fully interactive website. Got a lot of information on that, a lot of great stuff. And then I'm right in the middle of town in Islamorada, 81.5 mile marker across from Worldwide Sportsman in the Art and Culture District, which I started like 6 or 7 years ago, and that's been great. All the galleries are around us, all the restaurants are around us. We're just great little spot to go tuck into. A lot of boutique motels, they're all up and running. We have rooms coming back as we speak every week, so don't be afraid to do a little extra work and find that hotel room. And the fishing guides are ready for us.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's Pasta Tantaleo. Thanks again, Pasta, for calling in. I appreciate the report, and we will see you soon.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Pasta. And by the way, Pasta, if you're going to be down in Islamorada, here's something that Pasta has he didn't mention. He has his own art gallery down there, so he has an entire area that you can see his work on display. You don't have to look at pictures. Go down to Islamorada, down to the mile marker that he mentioned. I think it was 81. What mile marker was it?
Yep, 81.5 on the ocean side.
Mile marker 81.5 on the ocean side. You can see all of these beautiful pieces of artwork that he has done. Pasta, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to call in. I'm getting ready to take a break. I'll be looking forward to speaking to you again, sir. We want to have you back on. You're always very interesting with the fishing reports and what's going on. Wish you a wonderful weekend, my friend.
Same here. Thanks, guys.
Okay, folks, there he goes. That is Pasta Tantaleo, Art by Pasta. You can find him online Beautiful stuff, some really amazing stuff. So we're going to be taking a break in just a moment here. Some of the other people that will be coming on is Captain Jay Daughtry. He's a charter captain. And of course, Sandy, we've talked about Sandy Moret a couple of times. He's going to be telling us about, and I'm really very interested in hearing this about fly fishing for sailfish. So don't go away. You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with Riscala and Devin. We will be right back.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
When selling your luxury home, you need someone who understands your expectations. Someone familiar with the industry, who can sell your home faster and get you the best price. Someone who can provide you with a full-service brokerage firm. That someone is Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty. Devin is a veteran who has grown up in South Florida and spent his life in Palm Beach County. With Devin's marketing strategy and his network of contacts, you will be pleased at how quickly, smoothly, and easily your home can be sold. Not sure what your home should sell for? With Devin on your side, you will receive a free evaluation. Call Devin today at 561-281-9138. He's ready to serve your needs and expectations. That's 561-281-9138. Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty. 561-281-9138.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
Alright, grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for listening. It is the Fish Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala, and my sidekick, Devin.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. I hope everybody's still listening, enjoying the show, enjoying the weather, enjoying just life in general.
Yeah, we've got this back door, sliding black door. We have this sliding back door open, and it is very cool. It's some nice, cool air coming in. I don't think I'd want to be out on the water right now.
No, it's not one of those mornings I'd want to be out in the water, but it is a great morning to enjoy everything else Florida has to offer.
That's right. It's beautiful to be outside. We don't necessarily have to be on water, but you can be outside, and we do bring the outdoors to you. How do you like that?
So who do we have next coming up, Riskel? It's an exciting show.
Captain Jay is the next guest coming up, and I believe Captain Jay is on the line. Captain Jay, good morning and welcome to the Fish Florida Show.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
I am doing wonderful, Captain Jay. Tell us a little bit about what you do and what's being caught out there.
I'm a local charter boat captain here in Stuart, Florida, and I also have a mobile marine service as well. And as far as what's going on in Florida, today we have a nasty little cold front, at least as fishermen call it. We call it nasty because it's a little sporty outside if you're trying to get out the inlets right now.
But I tell you what, though, you're up in Stuart. I heard the redfish have been on up there. The bite has been on.
Yes, it has. It's been on, especially around the docks behind the area that they call the station area, which is just on the inside of the Hutchinson Island. And then up by the power plant as well on the inside. Redfish bite's been doing real good up there as well.
When I do make my way up to Stuart, the power plant's one of my favorite spots to fish up here. The bite is always really, really good around that area.
Yep, the bite's been doing good up there. Triple tail's been hanging out a little bit as well around some of the channel markers, around some of the crab trap buoys.
Awesome. And I heard, and you can catch some trout up there too. And for those redfish guys who haven't seen them, it's the red drum what we're speaking of. It's not a red fish per se, it's the red drum. And, go fishing up there, you get to catch some of those trophy-sized bull reds that, you get the nice picture with and you get to put them back. And also I've seen a lot of nice trophy snook being caught also. Just the picture snook, the ones, the nice clean inlet snook. Great fish to take a picture with and put them back in the water. Of course, it's not snook season, everybody, so you can't harvest these fish. And some of those bull reds, they are bigger than the slot limit, but great fish to take pictures with. And they're all around, it's a great fight, especially those reds. They dig hard and they're a hard fighting fish.
Oh yeah, and they're even more fun, especially when you can get them on some light tackle as well.
That's where the challenge comes in. You get them on that 15, 20 pound tests, and you got to learn how to work those fish so they don't get you in the rocks, because I'm sure from Captain Jay's experience, those fish do know where the pilings and they do know exactly where those rocks are to break you off.
It's always amazing to know or to find out just how they do know where everything's at.
Wow.
Captain Jay, tell us a little bit about your charter, what you do.
I charter out of Stuart, out of the Hutchinson Inlet, and the St. Lucie Inlet, and I do offshore charters as far as sailfish, dolphin, wahoo, kingfish, and also as well target bottom fishing, snapper, grouper. And whenever the snowies are in, I'll go out and do some deep drop for some snowies as well.
That's awesome. So tell us what's the name of your charter business and where they can find you?
They can find me here in Stuart, Florida. The boat that I run is called the Hideaway. It's a 33-foot coastal, twin engines. It's a gas-powered boat, but it's got a very wide beam on it, so it's very fisherman friendly. And they can find me online, or they can find me online at CaptainJ.com, or they can also find me on Facebook as James Captain J Daltrey.
That's awesome. And you also run a mobile marine repair business. What kind of motors do you work on? Are you only work on the outboards, or do you do some inboards?
No, I do inboards and outboards, gas and diesel both.
That's awesome. And you're how about a phone number they can reach you at in case somebody breaks down and they need their boat taken care of?
The phone number they can reach me at is 200-5037. And that's a 24-hour service line.
There it is, Captain J. If you guys break down, he is the man to come take care of you. 24 hours. Wow, that's a commitment right there.
Right.
I work about 15 hours a day, and then I have the wife time, and then I have maybe about 4 to 6 hours of sleep max. So bless your heart for that 24-hour line, because mine goes on silent for those 4 hours when I'm sleeping.
Well, sometimes when you're out fishing, it's darn hard to find someone that you can call, and people do appreciate it. I found that out over the years.
Absolutely. I've been out there in the situations on our twin engines that we've had to limp in on one because we've lost an engine, and it gets kind of sketchy, but we still make it in. And there are times where some of these guys, you're fishing an important tournament, you do need that boat repaired right away or that motor part replaced right away. And what a great convenience to have you available 24 hours.
It does come in handy, and believe you me, I get those calls on a regular basis.
There you have it, guys. It's Captain J, available to you 24 hours for your boat repair. And if you're up in the Stewart area and you're looking to grab a charter, Captain J is the man. Go out and fish with him. You'll target almost any species you want from all the things he tells me right now that I'm hearing. Any species you guys want. And he's also the local guide up there, so he'll tell you what's biting and what's hot. How about the sailfish bite, Captain J? Have you and get a sailfish report for us? I know we've been harping on sailfish, but it is that time of year where the sailfish are chewing up there.
Sailfish are chewing. This past week, up out of the Fort Pierce Inlet, in the Fort Pierce area, sailfish bite was hot. There was dozens of sailfish caught up there over this past weekend. The Pelican was going on up there this past, and they were doing pretty good up there. And then out of St. Lucie Inlet, sailfish bite was pretty good yesterday as well. And in a couple of days prior, it was a little bumpy, a little sporty offshore, but it was worth the trouble going through it to it. But other than that, everybody's been doing pretty decent on the sails. Bite's been going off good. Everything's been, you've been able to be targeting them in the 100 to 130 foot mark is where everything's been hanging at.
And those sailfish, like everybody knows, they do run the Gulf Stream. It's a pelagic species. I myself, and I've said before on the air, this time of year when I hear the sailfish bite is on, I actually take all my reels, take my rods down, I service my rods and service my reels, empty the lines, and get myself ready for meat fishing again, because sail fishing is not my thing. I'm not a big fan of sail fishing. But for the ones that are, absolutely, they put on a great show, great aerobatics. You get a nice picture, but again, it's not my thing. I've caught them before, but sail fishing is on. And if you guys want to book a charter with Captain J, tell them one more time where they can find you.
They can find me at CaptainJ.com, and they can also, if they need to get hold of me or contact me, they can also contact me at 772-200-5037.
Captain J, I appreciate you being on the air with us today and appreciate the fishing report. We'll hope to hear from you again. Tight lines.
Tight lines for you too, guys.
Thank you, Captain J. Wish you a wonderful weekend, my friend. And our next guest,
someone
much, we have spoken about a couple of times this morning, Sandy Moret, who does something that I find absolutely intriguing. He catches sailfish using a fly rod. And we talked a little bit about that this morning. We had Pasta from Art by Pasta discuss it a little bit. But here's the man who's on the line now with me, Sandy Moret, who's going to give us detailed information. Sandy, good morning. Thank you so much for calling in.
Hey, good morning. Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about this. I find this so intriguing. Fishing for sailfish with a fly rod.
It's actually something that's been done for quite a while. It's you use a hookless teaser. In the Keys, we usually use a live ballyhoo, and we wire the fish. We wire the ballyhoo and slow troll behind the boat. And when you raise a fish, you pull the fish towards you with the teasers and make him follow them. You pull the bait away from him so he can't eat it. And when you get him in casting range, you can cast the fly to him. And every now and then it works. You catch one every now and then.
I tell you what, Sandy, because the only thing I've ever caught with a fly is a tree. I've almost caught myself. I've caught my hat. That's my complete fly experience right there. I finally learned how to get it out there with the cast. But yeah, that's the majority of my catches with the fly.
Yeah, it's fly fishing is really come a long way. We've been teaching a fly fishing school since 1989. We do seminars a couple times a year, and people come from all over the planet and learn how to use a fly and a fly rod in salt water. It's actually a pretty formidable tool for fighting fish once you learn how to use it. It takes a while. You got to cast and practice a little bit, just like you were going to play golf or something.
So what's the weight on those fly rods and reels, you guys? Are you guys using 10 weight or 12?
Mostly 12 and 11 and 12 weights for the sailfish. The Atlantic sailfish, they're a little smaller than the Pacifics, so you can go a little lighter with them. And we supply in our tournament, we actually supply the leader material, so everybody's fishing out of the same batch, and we restrict the tournament to 16-pound or 15-pound test lines for fishing the tournament.
Riscala over here looks amazed that we only use 15 and 16-pound tests, right? But explaining to him, when we fly fish, the billfish, they have very soft mouths, so when you're fighting those fish, you have to fight them on really light tackle. When we go sword fishing, we only fight swordfish on 15, maybe max 20 pounds of drag. Maybe max 20 pounds, but about 15 to 17 pounds. So 15 pounds on a sailfish, it's a lot of drag for a sailfish because they do have the soft mouths, and you're chasing those fish down. You're working those fish. They are jumping. Sandy, if I ever get a chance to, and I go crazy and I want to sailfish with you with a fly, just stay on the fly bridge or stay in the cabin in there. Just stay away from my hook. But
he's dangerous with the fly rod.
All I'm doing is telling you the safe places to stand.
Watch out. Oh, goodness.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit more about your tournament they just recently had.
Well, we started the tournament. This was our 18th year, and things were a little soft in the Keys because of not enough hotel rooms with Irma's, the issues we had with Irma. But we had 11 teams, and we fished for 2 days, and I think we caught the winning boat caught 2 fish. That means it landed them and took the fly out of their mouth. They billed the fish and took the fly out. And then the second place team had a couple fish. There were 5 fish caught. The winning team caught 3. This is not a biomass gathering session.
No, this is not this style of tournament's not like the sporties and the big money tournaments, the $1 million tournaments when they go sail fishing. You actually build a fish. That means, for our listeners out there who don't understand, it's they get the fish up to the side of the boat, and they do handle the bill and actually get the fly out. Instead of a lot of these other tournaments, all they have to do is touch the leader and they cut the line and they release the fish. Am I correct?
That's correct. And the other difference is, when you're fishing with conventional tackle, as a rule, you're allowed, I think, 15 feet of any material as a leader.
That is correct. 15
feet. In fly fishing, you're allowed 12 inches of heavy material for a shock leader, and then you have to have more than 15 inches of your line class, your 15-pound. So you can't get the fish in 20 feet from the boat and release it that way. You got to bring it in, and we don't bring them in the boat. Of course, that's not that's against the law these days to actually put one in the boat.
I didn't know that. It's against the law.
Yep, that's one of the steps that FWC and the Florida fishery has taken to protect these species, because sailfish, they were fished hard for a long time, and we did put a lot of stress on the species. So some of the new rules that they have is you can't bring those fish on board. You have to keep them in the water, and you have to take the hook out of them.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. You're all right. You're under arrest. And what did I do? You got a sailfish on your. Wow.
I tell you what, you do not want to be caught with an illegal fish on your boat here in Florida. The penalties are hard.
Wow.
But it is a good thing. And Sandy, I'm sure you've seen too down there, because of the strict regulations, not only on the sailfish, on the species that they do have out there. Our population of the fish is coming back, and this year we had a great year for fishing in general.
Yeah, fishing is surprisingly resilient in Florida. Our main issues for the future of our fishery in the state of Florida have to do with water quality, of course. And if we can resolve some of those issues, there's some laws that are we're trying to get implemented, and if we can get those done and get things going, the future of Florida fishing is great.
So, wow. Sandy, tell us again, if somebody wants to come down there and enjoy a one-time amazing experience fly fishing for sailfish, tell them where they can find you.
Florida Keys Outfitters in Islamorada, and we've been here 25 years. And we've got a full-service fly fishing shop located in Islamorada, right in the building where the Green Turtle, everybody knows, is a legendary restaurant in Islamorada.
Anybody's been to the Keys, they know where the Green Turtle is. Sandy, for those people that don't, do you have a phone number or a website where they can find you?
FloridaKeysOutfitters.com.
Awesome. That's FloridaKeysOutfitters.com. Sandy, thank you again for joining us. We appreciate the knowledge that you give to our listeners and the fishing report. We'll hope to hear from you soon. Tight line, sir.
Thank you, sir. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate it. Wish you a great weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, we're up against a break. We will be right back. It is the Fish Florida Show with Riscala and Devin. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event.
Promises to one's community.
Helping people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
You've seen how recent hurricanes have devastated whole communities, flooding and destroying homes. Join Habitat for Humanity as we work with families to repair and rebuild. You can help someone desperately in need of a place to call home. We will rebuild, but only with your help. Visit Habitat.org to support Habitat's work.
Hello, I'm Hector Elizondo, and I want to talk to you about getting older. My body hurts, my joints ache, and sometimes I forget. I forget that doing all your own scenes for a movie isn't always the best decision, especially when you're galloping high speed on a horse named Archibello. So yes, my body hurts, but it's not because of my age. It's because I'm living my life.
Don't let life pass you by. Take care of your brain health. It may just help you stay on top of your game.
Oh, Archibello!
Learn more at brainhealth.gov.
Hey y'all, Cedric the Entertainer here with Niecy Nash, taking a break from shooting The Soul Man to introduce you to Patience.
Hi.
Patience is a patient at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Families never receive a bill from St. Jude for anything because all a family should worry about is helping their child live.
St. Jude won't give up until they end childhood cancer, sickle cell, and other deadly diseases.
Because of you, there is St. Jude.
Learn more at stjude.org.
My vehicle was sent 6 feet in the air in a ball of fire. I thought I was going to die.
It ripped my arm off. It broke my right femur.
I took such a hard blow to the head that my retina was torn apart.
Say a prayer for peace.
I'm Trace Adkins. I want to tell you about these true American heroes and how you can show your thanks by helping them through Wounded Warrior Project.
They reached out to us as a family, and they never forgot about us.
The job of helping thousands of our wounded warriors rebuild their lives is massive and growing every day. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Many of these service members suffer traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder.
They helped me basically put my life back together.
If it wasn't for Wounded Warrior Project, I would be a statistic right now. I would have been one of those soldiers who came home and committed suicide.
I'm in the fields of Vietnam, the mountains of Afghanistan.
Your gift today of $19 a month can help us provide the programs and services desperately needed by our wounded service members. Call or go online with a pledge and you'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket. Make that call now.
Say a prayer for peace.
You're listening to WDBFradio.com, a tune-in station.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. It calls me a grouper. So fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Riscala? Riscala, are you there?
Okay, I apologize. I didn't realize that the mics had gone on mute. Welcome back. It is the Fish Florida Show. I apologize. It is the Fish Florida Show with Riscala and my sidekick, Devin. And one of the topics we've been talking about this morning is sailfish due to the activity of that particular species and the time of year. Very, very active. The sailfish and the wahoo seem to be very active.
The wahoo's been okay. It's they're not the big ones. You are getting the smaller wahoo, but it's still quality fish. It is one of my favorite fish to fish for, but the sailfish outweighs it this week by 100%, the amount of sailfish that are being caught. I hate to beat a dead horse, but it is the hot fish of the week, and it is, they put on a great show. If you're coming down to visit Florida, book a charter with one of the local charter guides. They have some smaller charters out there. Again, if you're up in the Stewart area, you have people like Captain Jay. If you're down in the West Palm area, I have a couple friends too. You're more than welcome to visit our Facebook page and ask questions. I like to go out with my friend Captain George Bradbury on the Mad Sun Fishing. He does catch quality fish, and you will get that sailfish and enjoy a great time with your family and create that experience and that memory, because that's what it's all about when you're down here.
Yeah, and they're beautiful. When they turn to the side and they flash like that, that is just gorgeous. It is just an amazing sight to see, and it's a very visual catch too.
Yeah, and like I said, for the kids, if you're bringing your kids on here on vacation,
can you imagine the excitement?
Take them out fishing, because a lot of these boats do provide pretty much all the gear. All you have to do is show up.
Yeah,
that's it.
Wow. And you know, the other thing on the app, you just reminded me of something that I love. I really think this is the coolest thing in the world. On the app, they have this thing called Fish With Me, I think is what it's called, right?
Fish With Me, yeah, that's on the Fish Florida app. It's up again. That's a powerful tool, guys. Download the Fish Florida app. You will find, and you're coming to Florida. It is essential. Even if you live in Florida, it's essential with the hunting and fishing. You can get the tide reports. You can link right to FWC and update your fishing license. There's a lot of great tools on that website that you don't have to have 15 apps on your phone because it does it all for you right there in one.
And it's free, and you get to listen to the Fish Florida show.
So, who do we have next coming up?
Well, I was looking for Jim Seymour. He is he's a hunter here in Florida. I believe he's the one who has a ranch in central or north central Florida. I was hoping he's going to be calling in and telling us a little bit about what's going on with regard to hunting and what's happening up there. I don't recall. I think it's called OsceolaTurkeyHunts.com or huntinginflorida.com.
Looks like we do have Jim on the line, yes?
We have Jim on the line. Good morning, Jim. Welcome to the Fish Florida show.
Good morning. How are things in South Florida?
Things are great in South Florida. The weather's beautiful. Woke up this morning to crisp 48, but of course, like South Florida, the sun is coming out and it is warming up rapidly. Not as warm as we normally would have here, but it is a nice break with that cooler weather, that little drier air. How about yourself? How is the weather up there in Central Florida?
Well, the sun's coming out and I'm sitting on a deer stand right at the moment, so all is wonderful down here. It was 40 degrees when I got up. That's not too bad when you put your Carhartts on.
Wow.
That is not bad at all, Jim, and maybe sometime I can make it up there. I can bring the rifle cases up there and do a hunt with you.
Sure. Be glad to have you.
So, Jim, as you're sitting there and in this deer
stand, what species are we targeting today?
Whitetail or wild pigs.
Now the wild boar population here in Florida, it is something that is becoming a little, and I don't want to say it in the wrong sense, but it is becoming a nuisance up here. So the wild boar population, if you get out there and you go hunt wild boar, it's not something that even if we quote unquote decimate the population, it is an invasive species. But man, those things are so good eating.
Well, they are, real good to eat. They are a problem. They do root up and tear up pastures for cattle and orange groves and everything else. So we really, really need to do something to get rid of a lot of them. If you got rid of half of them, you'd still have too many. But
I mean, I'm sure I can eat about half of them. But I love me some wild boar, some stew boar.
Yeah.
Marinated. I love it marinated. Jim, what kind of equipment you're using up there?
You mean as far as firearms?
Yeah.
I shoot Remingtons. Mostly I shoot a .308. I have a .22 250 Ackley improved that we built a number of years ago, and it's just devastating on everything. I shoot a 60 grain bullet in it. Triple shot.
That 308 round is one of my favorite rounds to shoot. It is a flat flying round, so it does travel a good distance. The ballistic drop is really low on those. And tidbit information, the 308 round was originally an older round the military used to use. It used to be a sniper round.
Really?
The 308, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep, it was. I shoot Barnes bullets in it also. I really like the Barnes solid copper bullets. When they hit something, they most of the time don't move. They go right down. So
that's the wonderful thing too. When I go hunting, I haven't been hunting in a couple of years though, but I do like to get that kill shot where they will drop and the animal themselves is not suffering because it's got to be an ethical kill. The way that's just my views on the hunting. That's why I choose rifle over anything else. The other round I like to shoot is a 7mm 08. It's very fast flying around. The kinetic energy behind that round is a really good stopping power.
Yeah, my best friend has a 708 and he really likes it. I've shot it a little bit, but it just, I already got these guns and I guess I'll probably keep them till I'm no longer able to hunt.
Hey, stick with what you know. So, tell us a little bit about your business, what you do.
Well, we're one of the premier Osceola turkey outfitters in the state. This ranch is 2,800 acres that we own. And we have about 20,000 acres of the ranches around us leased for hunting on. So we have a good sum of property. We feed year round. I build automatic wildlife feeders. They go off twice a day, and we feed corn, soybeans, iron and clay peas out of them for the protein. So, and our population of turkeys is just fantastic. I mean, yesterday we were just riding around looking at cows and saw 15 gobblers all in one group. So, we have a lot of turkeys. And,
I take that back.
That's some good deer.
I take that back. That's the only species I will hunt bow with is turkey.
Turkey.
Yeah. Well, I killed a double grand slam with Neil Cost in 1983, which is all 4 subspecies of the turkeys in the United States and Mexico. So, I've been hunting a long time. Actually, I started when I was about 9 or 10 years old with my dad. He was a very avid turkey and deer hunter. So
that's
I've
awesome.
been doing this quite a while.
Huntinginflorida.com. If somebody was to come up there, how soon in advance do they need to book one of these trips on your ranch?
Well, deer, we can book them anytime. We go through the 3rd Saturday of February for deer hunting. My Osceola turkey hunts are starting to book up. I still have some dates available. We don't take that many people. We do 4 people at a time. We have cabins for them to stay in. Food and lodging is all taken care of within the price. And so, we've got all the facilities right here on site. So
that's awesome. Everything from down to the cleaning of the turkey and the cleaning of the deer or the hog. You have a butcher on site that takes care of all that for your guest?
Right. We have a guy that's right down the road. He's not actually on site that will cut and wrap, but he actually has a butcher shop. So, we have everything right here available within, just a very short time period.
That's awesome. So it's all inclusive, guys. For all our listeners, if you haven't experienced going hunting and you want to experience it, huntinginflorida.com with Jim Seymour is a great experience for you. And Jim, like I said, I make it up to the Orlando area quite often, so maybe I will have to make it an extended week and come up there and we'll do a hunt together.
Okay, just let me know.
Well, Jim, thank you so much for taking the time to call, and I'll be looking forward to having you back on again and giving us some reports about what's going on up there with regard to hunting and what is happening. Wish you a great weekend, my friend.
Again, Jim, thank you for calling in. That's huntinginflorida.com with Jim Seymour.
And
Jim,
it's also OsceolaTurkeyHunts.com.
Correct. And thank you all for having me on the show.
Thank you, brother. Have a great day.
Right. We'll see you soon.
Too. Bye.
There he goes, ladies and gentlemen, Jim Seymour with huntinginflorida.com or OsceolaTurkeyHunts.com. I think that, for someone who may have a couple of days off and they may not particularly want to go fishing, this is a kind of a twist. This is something that is completely different than fishing. And it is certainly very exciting.
Yeah, Bruscallen, you'd be surprised. A lot of our fishermen, when it is this time of year, they will go hunting. I know a lot of my fishermen friends that do hunt also. Enjoy everything Florida has to offer,
Bringing the outdoors to you, right?
Yeah, you don't have to be up in the Minnesota area or the Carolinas, and you're wrapped up in cold weather gear and you're covered in snow trying to do one of these hunts. You're still in the bright sun out here. The most you might get is a sun shower.
Yeah, and it's warming up pretty quick out here.
It sure is.
I think we're probably up into the 60s now already. In just a short period of time, probably an hour now, it's gone up, 10 degrees?
At least 10 degrees in the past hour. And, and that's one of the things in Florida. It'll get cold overnight, and then in the daytime, the sun comes out, and, we are the sunshine state, so it warms us up really quick.
We live up to that name. Especially on a morning like this. It is gorgeous out there. If you're not out there today, ladies and gentlemen, you need to take advantage of the place at which we live and the outdoors. There are so many different things that you could be doing out there. It is anything from fishing, kayaking, snorkeling, if you don't mind a little bit of a chilly weather, hunting, as we've been discussing about, the hunting that's going on, a wide variety of activities, all to bring pleasure to you. That's why we live here in South Florida. We live here for the sunshine and the outdoors.
And Ruscala, don't forget even the scuba diving, because we do have some reefs and we have some amazing wrecks people can go out there and do a dive on if you are dive certified. to see some amazing sights here, down from the big Goliath grouper, there are lobster, the spearfishing.
Seriously big fish. You know, that you bring that subject up. I contacted a couple of the charters that take people out diving, and I asked them. Hopefully, I'll have one of them on next week. I wanted to get their view. What do they see under the water? Because we see on top of the water. What are they seeing down there?
I used to dive a lot. I'm a certified rescue diver.
Wow.
Got my went through the whole course with that, and you know the fish out there are amazing. I've done everything from daytime diving to nighttime diving for open air lobster season, and the sights from daytime to nighttime are incredible. A night dive is something that you have to be experienced to do, but it's amazing.
Wow. Okay, we are up against a hard break. We got to take a quick break. Please don't go away. You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with Riskala and Devin. We will be right back.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
Que Pasa Mexican Cantina is where friends and neighbors come to connect, share, and celebrate one another in a festive, casual atmosphere. Offering rich, robust flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine, we use only the freshest, finest ingredients. We chop and dice, season and blend, and then cook everything we serve to perfection. One thing that makes Mexican food even better is one of our delicious Best of the Bay margaritas. Our signature series of margarita flavors range from our sweet and fruity mango and strawberry to our hot and juicy jalapeno margarita. Having a busy meeting or getting together and looking for Mexican food? Try our Fast Fax form. It's an easy, fast way to order your favorite Mexican food. We have special platters and layouts for any occasion. The form is super easy to fill out, fax, email, or just call it in. Whether it's here in the restaurant, in your home or office, at Que Pasa we celebrate bringing people together. Que Pasa Mexican Cantina, 10478 Roosevelt Boulevard North Street in the Gateway Shopping Center, 727-330-3663 in St. Petersburg.
Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Hey, this is Captain Hook for Statewide Pest Control Services. They've been serving the west coast of Florida since 1987. Statewide does it all. Pest control, termites, lawns, mosquitoes, tent fumigations, etc. This announcement is from their mold division. Since Hurricane Charlie in 2004, all their personnel are certified in mold and moisture control. Their two-step services are guaranteed to get you back in your home quicker and in most cases paid by your insurance company. Give them a call at 877-488-7378. That's statewide pest control services for all your pest and mold control needs, serving Florida from Pasco to Lee counties. Statewide pest control services, 877-488-7378. 877-488-7378. That's 877-488-7378.
You're listening to WDBFradio.com, a tune-in station.
I grabbed my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Riscala, are you there? Well, we've got a little technical issue here. Riscala, are you there?
Okay, we are back. I apologize. I'm having a little bit of an issue on my end. My computer doesn't seem to want to cooperate with me. I'm getting ready to take it and throw it out the window.
Technology, it helps us and then it frustrates us.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if you're aware, but we use Skype to conference back and forth, and they have this new version of Skype out, and it's just not cooperating. Anyway, let's get back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala, and my co-host, Devin, and it is an honor and a privilege to be with you this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Apologies regarding the technical issues. We will try to keep them at minimal. Anyway, my next guest, without whom we would not be here, is Victoria Brinkley. Victoria is the one who is responsible for the Fish Florida app. Victoria is the one who convinced me to do the Fish Florida Show. So without Victoria, you wouldn't be hearing my voice. Without Victoria, you wouldn't have the Fish Florida app, which is a super tool for anybody who's going out there and doing anything outdoors. Good morning, Victoria, and welcome to the show.
Good morning, guys. How are you this morning?
We're enjoying this nice, cool, brisk weather.
And Riscala's over here trying to stay warm.
Are you there, Victoria?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, there's a bit of a delay. I apologize. So let's talk a little bit about what has brought us all together, this Fish Florida application.
Well, I saw a need for it. Dennis, my better half, loves to go out and sport fish. We live right here on the water across from the inlet, so it's really easy to get it right out to the ocean. But he likes to spend a lot of time to plan his boating trip. You know, it costs a lot of money to take care of your boat and to put gas in it, put the bait together. So there's a lot of components, a lot of moving parts to put your fishing trip together. It can be quite expensive. So he downloaded several apps about 3.5 years ago. So like the Buoy Report, the Tide Report, the weather. And I said, well, you know, why doesn't somebody have an app that has all of that put together in one place? And there wasn't anything like that. So I wanted to kind of solve the problem, also give Dennis a perfect fishing tool, you know, so he can plan his trip all in one place. So we made that. It's now number 1 in Google. It's like number 3 or 4 in Apple iTunes, and it has it's widely circulated now. So we have people from all over the world, and Florida is like the premier fishing place to come, especially the Keys. So we've got people on there from, parts of the world I've never even heard of. We've got a 97% return user rate with it, and about 1.5 years ago, we figured out that we had a great audience, a great consumer audience that loves to do stuff outside on the weekends. So we have fishing, boating, and hunting resources on there. So now we have a great marketing piece. So we opened up, you know, the Fish Florida Media Group, I could just go on and on about how proud I am of this group and the success of, what has happened with it.
If you have ever met someone who promises you something and over-delivers, if you were to look up the definition of that person, I really think that a picture of Victoria would be there. Someone who promises you something and will over-deliver every time on what they promise. If she says to you, I'm going to do this for you, you can bank on it. She's going to do that, and more than likely the odds are she's going to do more than that. She's going to follow up. The app is unbelievably full of all kinds of information. Truly a tool that somebody can use for the outdoors. It doesn't have to be fishing. It could be boating. It could be snorkeling. It could be just about anything that you're doing outside. There's information in this app that will be of value to you. And the greatest thing about it is free. It is absolutely free. It doesn't cost you anything. And of course, with the app, you get to listen to the show. With the app, you have a wide variety of components that are included in the app. You can go shopping on the app. You can check the weather on the app. You can see what's happening with hunting on the app. It just goes on and on and on. If you don't have the Fish Florida app, I highly, highly advise you. Get the Fish Florida app. You will not be sorry. People that I have talked to that have downloaded the app are absolutely impressed with all of the information that is available. The Fish Florida app goes right along with the Fish Florida show.
It's really a fun app. I mean, like you said, there's just so much to find on there. But, what I'm really, really proud about is that you can find great services and products from all of our media partners. And with the push of a button, anybody that wants to market a product or a service or even a resource, and we also get involved with a lot of tournaments. We're going to be working on a tournament with Jimmy Johnson. His tournament's in March. I'll be announcing that shortly. But we're really excited. That purse is over $1 million guaranteed. Probably the largest purse I've ever seen.
Wow. That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. So, Victoria, before we go, let's give out there a website. How about a website, Victoria?
You can you can find us all over the place. We like I said, we're widely circulated. We're all over social media. We are at www.fishfloridamediagroup.info. And you can go to the Fish Florida app. We're on there. You can find us. And, another great thing that everybody could do is, if they want to get their product featured on your show, that's going to be a great way for everybody to find your product. So, I mean, there's a lot of great advertising opportunities. We give people cutting-edge, innovative ways to get your product out there and be seen and have that reach to that consumer, directly to that consumer. So it's a privilege to be able to be on the show this morning. I just want to thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. And the last count, if I'm not mistaken, the last count was over 15,000 downloads. Right.
That's, that's just something that going to keep growing and growing. It's really growing. I think it's like the fastest boating and fishing app out there, fastest growing fishing and boating app.
I agree.
And Riscala, as you know, everybody is working from their phones these days. With the millennials, even the older generation, everybody has smartphones. 70% more people shop this year on their phone than actually going into a store, even getting on a computer.
Yeah, and the number's increasing. The numbers are just getting more.
Can I say one more thing? We're getting ready to announce a retail piece of this, which I'm really excited about. And there's some other big things in the works. So, I mean, our footprint is expanding so fast. My head is spinning on how exciting everything has become for all of our media partners. So I would love to hear from you, anybody that wants to be a part of our group. Like I said, the website is www.fishfloridamediagroup.info.
So anybody in the hunting, boating, any nautical industry, if you need to bridge that gap and grow your business, Victoria is the person to call. She will help you, show you with her marketing strategy what she can do to make your business more successful than it is, because I'm sure your businesses are successful as is, but let her show you, give her the opportunity to explain to you how she can help grow your business with all the media tools and all the marketing she has to offer. The marketing genius herself, Victoria Brinkley. Thank you, Victoria.
I'm going to be going over to the Stewart Boat Show in a little bit, so everybody should head on over there. It's going to be really fun. A lot of stuff to see over there.
All right, Victoria. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That is Victoria Brinkley with the Fish Florida Media Group. And my next guest, Frank Danish. I'm going to make sure I say it right this time. Danish. Frank Danish.
Thank you, Mr. Riscala. I appreciate that.
And Daniel. We have Daniel as well. And they're going to tell us a little bit about Adopt a Cop, which is something that is kind of one of my heartstrings. So good morning, gentlemen. Thank you so much for taking the time to call in.
Well, good morning, Riscala. Good morning, Devin. And I want to introduce you guys to my cohort, my co-anchor, my part. This guy does it all. He helps me if I forget something. And we named him the Bird Dog. So his name is Daniel, but it's also the Bird Dog.
Frank, Daniel, my heart goes out to you. That's a full-time job, making sure Frank doesn't forget anything.
So let's talk a little bit about Adopt a Cop.
Come on, Danny, say something.
Something.
Danny, tell me a little bit about your involvement with Adopt a Cop.
Well, I've known Frank for almost 30 years, and when we retired from the police department, he started this Adopt a Cop, and I didn't know what he was doing at first, but then when he explained it to me and showed me what he was doing, I thought it was awesome, so I wanted to jump on board.
And tell me a little bit about what is Adopt a Cop, for those who don't know what it is.
Adopt a Cop is a mentoring program for children, for law enforcement officers, military personnel, teachers. I mean, we pretty much do it for everybody. But it's mainly about the kids. You know, we go to schools and we read to the kids. We take them fishing. We go hunting. We do a bunch of different things. Just basically trying to bridge that gap between the law enforcement and the community.
You know, you said 4 words that were very vital in that last paragraph that you said. It's about the kids. It's for the kids. The kids are the next generation. The kids are going to be the people who are going to be running this country in a very short period of time. If you don't give them a good, fundamental, basic understanding of life, responsibilities, what goes with that, how to enjoy life, but how to be responsible at the same time, how to understand authority and how to respect authority. If this isn't taught at a young age, you see what is happening to us with these people like the Black Lives Movement, with these people like the Antifas, who literally curse cops, throw rocks at cops, will shoot cops, and all that does is create a greater division between our last line of defense, which is the police department, and communism. If we can't get along with the very people who are supposed to protect us, if those people are pushed to the edge where they have no choice but to respond in a violent manner, our society will quickly go down the drain. And is because of people like Frank and people, like Dennis. Is it Dennis? I apologize. David.
Bird Dog.
The Bird Dog man. Because of people like that, we help to continue these relations. And these are vital, very, very important relationships. When I was young, I had the privilege of having what we called neighborhood police officers. We had 6 police officers who would come to the houses. They would come to your house. They would introduce themselves, and they would take care of our neighborhood 8 hours at a pop, 2 at a time, 8 hours at a pop. They built the relationships up. So as I was growing up, I had a great deal of I loved my neighborhood, even though they caught me many times doing the wrong thing. I loved them. They were kind of like an inspiration, a second father, if you will, because these guys were there all the time for us. And it had not been for people like that, I may have made some really bad mistakes in my life. I may have ended up actually in jail because these people helped lead me onto the right track. They helped keep me responsible. They were the ones who looked out for us and found us when we were doing things we shouldn't be doing. And instead of taking us to jail or taking us to the juvenile hall, they took us to our parents. And let me tell you something. In the days of my growing up, the police bring you to your home, you better get your butt ready because it's going to be black and blue before it's all over.
Take me to jail. Don't take me home if I got in trouble when I was little.
Right.
It is way worse going home when you were little back when I was younger too.
Yep. So you work with children, which is one of my heartstrings. You may not know, but I used to be a foster parent many years ago. And you take them doing a wide variety of things. You teach them about the relationships between the police and the society. What else are you doing? What other things do you provide?
Well, one of the things that we're working on right now, and the Bird Dog is a big part of it, is we're actually creating a program where we're going to be going to schools and engaging with the kids in a way that they've, years ago we used to do a role play situation for violence prevention, and we kind of got away from that. But our kids are very visual learners these days, and that's why the internet and the video games are so popular with our youth, is because they don't get a chance to use their imagination. But another big problem we're having in schools is our kids are having trouble with their reading. Literacy is a huge problem across the country. So we're actually developing a program right now that's going to help our kids read and at the same time teach those very lessons that you're talking about earlier. And it's interesting you're talking about those other hate groups, because Danny had a situation the other day on Facebook with a guy who was very anti-police. And at first he was like, well, should we block him? And I was like, no. Let's engage with him. Let's have a conversation on Facebook. And at the end of it, this only went for a few days. At the end of it, the guy actually changed his opinion and actually said in one of his statements that he wrote, I wish I would have met a police officer like you earlier. You really helped me change my mind about law enforcement. And I thought that was tremendous.
Wow. Well, I am very pro law enforcement. I'm just very anti-corruption. And of course, like in any industry, you've got the bad apples and we need to weed them out. And I'm up against a break, Frank, and did we lose? Are we still on the air? I just heard something drop.
Yeah, the Bird Dog.
Okay. Frank and the Bird Dog, thank you so much for calling in. I just heard a funny sound. I thought we had dropped off. We will be right back. We're up against a break. It is the Fish Florida Show with Riscala and Devin. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
When selling your luxury home, you need someone who understands your expectations. Someone familiar with the industry, who can sell your home faster and get you the best price. Someone who can provide you with a full-service brokerage firm. That someone is Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty. Devin is a veteran who has grown up in South Florida and spent his life in Palm Beach County. With Devin's marketing strategy and his network of contacts, you will be pleased at how quickly, smoothly, and easily your home can be sold. Not sure what your home should sell for? With Devin on your side, you will receive a free evaluation. Call Devin today at 561-281-9138. He's ready to serve your needs and expectations. That's 561-281-9138. Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty. 561-281-9138.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing in Florida when the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. Stop fishing in Florida. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala, my co-host, Devin. We have had a variety of information come across this morning, and I hope that you find it useful and interesting. And if you have a product that you would like highlighted on our show, you can always contact me at M-E, at Riscala Stevens, RISCALLASTEVENS.com. Be happy to discuss it with you. Be happy to tell you what we do and how we can help promote your product. Right now I'm waiting for our next guest, and I don't see him on the board yet. So, let's talk a little bit more about fishing, while we have that free time, Devin. So, what do you plan on doing this for the rest of the day? That's right. You have something going on today, don't you?
I do have something going on today. Then I have a little bit of work in real estate, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day after that because I've been working going on 15 days straight now. So it's time to take a little break this evening.
You know, God bless you that you can do that. If I worked 15 days straight, I think they'd find me on a stretcher. I really do. I think they'd find me up on a stretcher. And one thing that Devin won't tell you in his humble way, one of the plans that he has today is that he's going to leave early, and the reason he has to leave early is
I have to go pay honors to a veteran that's passed away.
And most of you who have listened to the show know that Devin is an active reservist. That means that he's in the reserves, but he's also active duty. There are times when he is required to go do his thing on the weekend, and there are other times he is asked to go pay respects and help in the burial of veterans, which to me is one of the greatest passions that I have. Our guys go out there, they do their job, they come back, and they find themselves in a situation where they're not welcomed many times. They're thought of as enemies, and more of them taking their lives by their own hand than they are dying in the war. So anything that we can do to help our veterans, I'm 100% behind. Thank you, Devin. I appreciate that. And thank you for your service, both active and past.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, the other thing I had in question for you today too is, Riscala, why don't you give them your email once again? So I'd love to field some questions. You know, I like to have an Ask the Pro hour, and anybody that has any questions about anything fishing related, I'd be more than happy to answer them for you on the air the following week once you guys are listening in.
Yeah, that's a great idea. If you have any questions, any comments about the show, please feel free to respond. We would love to hear the feedback that you have. It's me, M-E, at Riscala Stevens, RISCALLASTEVENS.com. Whatever that comment might be, whatever the question might be, we'll address that for you. And we are working on. I'm looking forward to this. I don't want to promise you we're going to be able to do this, but we are working on a situation where we're going to be interactive with the listeners as well. I'm going to see about developing a chat room where you can be in the chat room while we are on the air, and if you have any questions or anything like that, you can place them in the chat room, and Devin will read them off, and then we'll do our best to get the answer for you. So that's another area where we're expanding. One of the other things we're looking at doing is we're looking for products that we're going to be giving away products on the show. More than likely, the giveaway will be towards the end of the show, and it'll be something like a question regarding the show sometime during the hours that we're on the show. And we'll throw that question out there, and whoever answers that question or we'll have to figure out how we're going to do that. But we're going to be giving away some things here and there, kind of a thank you to those of you who help support this show.
Absolutely. Always giving back to the community here, Riscala. Riscala is a great person. If you guys don't know him personally, he's an amazing guy. He will do anything for you.
Well, thank you, Devin. I appreciate that. One of the most exciting things that I think that we can do in giving back to the community is to reinforce the family unit. The family unit is what makes America, America. This is when I was growing up, believe it or not, my dad would take us a minimum of 2, usually 3 times a week as a family fishing somewhere. I grew up in Miami. He would take us down to the Keys. He would take us over to Naples. He would take us up to Tampa. Wherever that was, we would incorporate a trip and fishing, and it really made a difference for me. It really did.
I tell you what, and I still remember all the pictures from in the old tackle shops, even in the advertisements, take a kid fishing, and you see a dad and their kid out there fishing. It's just a great bonding experience. And, you know, these local tackle shops here have everything you need in South Florida. If you've never been fishing, even if you're a dad and you've never been fishing, a lot of the people here are knowledgeable. They'll help you out, help you get the gear together, to be able to take your kid out fishing, give you the little tips and pointers. And all around, like I said, it's not something that if you've never done it before and you want to take your kid fishing, it's quite affordable still, even if you have to save up to book one of these charters, even if you're going out on one of these private charters, or if you're going out with one of the bigger drift boats, they do everything for you and teach you everything.
And it's not a complicated thing, really. You know, when you think about it, it's not, how complicated can it be? You have a rod, you have a reel, you have some line, you have a hook, you put a thing on the end of the hook, you drop the hook overboard, and you wait for the thing to bite it. It's really very simple, but the learning, the experience, the bonding that goes on, that's priceless.
The sheer excitement. Like, I've been fishing so many times, and when you take a kid out fishing, that first bite they get, even their second, third, fourth, how their face lights up with excitement.
Oh my gosh.
It's unbelievable.
It's like a whole new world for them when they catch that fish, and their eyes are the size of golf balls, for Pete's sake. And they just don't know what to do with the thing. Some of them are a little scared of it, intimidated by it because it's flopping around all over the place. And other ones, they're ready to grab that thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you know, something simple like fishing, really, you know, it gives a lot of these kids something to do than have your head planted in your phone all day long.
Yeah, yeah. I've said this before. When I was growing up, what we did is sun up, your behind is out the door. Sundown, your behind better be in the door. We were out there doing something all day long as kids, getting some kind of activity and keeping ourselves busy. Majority of the time, I wasn't getting in trouble, but there were a couple of times there I was figuring out some way to get my behind in trouble. But the majority of the time we were out there all day long doing something. We were not looking at a device, an electronic device, who's literally taking our lives away from us, just absorbing our energy.
And you know what, Riscala, I get it. With the technology, it is moving forward, and you know, it's a time and a place for everything. It's a time and a place to take that break and just, you know, enjoy life. Because everybody, listen, the business I'm in, I am glued to my phone. I worked last night till past midnight.
Wow.
And phone's in my face, but you know, I'm doing work. But like I said, there's a time and a place. You just take that break and remember what everything else has to offer other than just your phone or just that piece of technology.
I mean, what kind of price can you put on bonding your family together? I remember those days so well when my dad would say, okay, Sunday, we're going to wherever. We were going to go to Naples. We'd go to the Naples Pier. And I would tell you, we spend a whole weekend in Naples, and we would spend the majority of the time of every day that we were there out there on that pier. And it was amazing. It was truly amazing.
Absolutely. And you know, little things like our family, like I've played the phone game before. Everybody puts their phone down. First person to pick it up, that's who picks up the tab.
Yeah. They just really. I went to dinner one time about a couple of months ago with a friend of mine. And we're sitting there enjoying dinner between me and him. And I said, take a look around. What are you seeing? He said, I don't know. I see people having dinner. I said, no, take a closer look. Observe what is happening. And what I saw was very disappointing. It really was. The majority of the people in that place, though they were 2 or 3 feet away from each other, they had this electronic device out and looking and converting with this electronic device versus conversing with a human being just a couple of feet away from them. So again, the technology has its place in our lives, but when it overwhelms us, when it's everything that we do is around technology, it really can't build our relationships. What's important about building relationships is experiencing something with someone. That builds the bond.
I tell you what, technology, it's a fine line. It has so much power to bring us together. and then it has so much power to distance us apart.
Yeah, absolutely. Just tear you apart because it takes the personalization out of everything. You're texting somebody. It's different than talking to them. There's just so many things that technology has helped us with. But if we're not careful, if there's not a balance there, it can definitely work against you. And one of the greatest things is to be able to share an experience, the same experience with somebody. And I really believe that's what helps bond people. You experience the same thing as the other person and you've gone through it together. That creates a bond between people. And when you're doing that as a family unit, my goodness, you have a strong bond between that family unit. I got to tell you, as growing up, my family was very close. There was only 4 of us here in the States. And today, my brother and my parents, God bless them, both of them have gone on. But my brother's my best friend. And I believe it was because of those days that we spent as a family unit doing something. And the majority of the time on the weekends was fishing. Something outdoors, something to be enjoyed and to be experienced by everybody at the same time, a way to build up that bond. So if you're not taking advantage of that, this is an opportunity for you to do something very simple with, and when we talk about fishing, it doesn't have to be with these kids. You don't have to take them out in a boat. If you don't want to go out in a boat or if it may be too rough, take them to a lake. Put a bobber on, put a worm on, and watch the excitement when that bobber starts bopping up and down. Watch them jump up and down. The excitement itself is priceless. You can't put a price on that.
Absolutely, Riscala. And other things, just even per se, not even hunting or fishing. There's a lot of places out here that you could just take your kids out, do a nature walk with them.
Sure, yeah.
Teach them a little bit about nature.
Yeah.
In the summertime here, there's a lot of places where you can do even a sea turtle walk, a guided sea turtle walk. Mm-hmm. And because if everybody didn't know, the sea turtles are protected here, so be very careful in the summertime. But there are a lot of places, not-for-profits, that do the sea turtle walk. And, it's another great experience you can enjoy as 2 adults, if not, bring your kids also. A lot of great things to offer than, like we're on the technology thing, that other than being on that phone or being behind that laptop, and sometimes you just have to really press that reset button and remember, enjoy the little things.
Yep. And the little thing could be something as simple as taking a walk on some of these nature walks. We have Jonathan Dickinson Park. You ever been to Jonathan Dickinson?
I have been multiple times.
A couple of walks in there you can go do. Very visual place. I don't know, maybe you can't fish there anymore. It's been a long time since I've been there, but I know at one time they did allow some fishing there. So maybe you can't go fishing there, but you can see some beautiful natural walks that are in there, in nature itself. It's a wonderful experience. If you're sharing it with somebody else at the same time, I promise you, the bond between the 2 of you will be increased.
And listen, I know how life is, and sometimes some people can't book that, but you know what? Go out there and enjoy it yourself. Press that reset button. Because, like one of my favorite things to say is, don't sweat the small stuff, because it's all small stuff.
Yeah, really. Yeah. I had a teacher tell me one time, took a jar and put it out in front of the class, and he put filled it with golf balls. And he said, "Class, is this jar full?" And we all said, "Yeah, of course the jar is full." And then he took some pebbles, and he put some pebbles in there between the spaces that the golf balls wouldn't fit. And then he said, "Well, now is the jar full?" "Of course the jar is full." And then he took some sand, and he put it in the jar. So now we have golf balls, pebbles, and sand. And then he asked the group, "Is the jar full now?" And they said, "Yeah, absolutely. The jar is full." And he said, the golf balls are the stuff that that can come and go in your life. The pebbles are the little more important things in your life. The sand is the stuff that you got to pay attention to. It's the little stuff that you pay attention to. The big stuff pretty much takes care of itself. If you lose your job, you're going to lose your home, you're going to lose your car, and all that other stuff. But if you don't take care of your relationships, you don't take care of those who love you, and if you don't build and bond those relationships, then it's all for loss. It's all for worrying about something that there's no need to worry about. So anyway, got a little carried away on that, but for me, family is everything. Family is very important, and the evidence of that is my life itself. As people know, I'm very family oriented. Once a week, I get together with the family in an effort to keep the family together, because everything that is going on in our society works towards ripping the family apart, and that's exactly what we don't want nowadays. Fishing, a very simple thing to do. Snorkeling, another simple thing to do. Boating, another simple thing to do. If you don't want to do any of that, just take them out and enjoy the outdoors. It's a beautiful day out here.
And absolutely. And it's, as you spoke about just boating, there are some places out there that just do the tours up and down the Intracoastal.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. Yeah.
You make an evening with the wife, get the babysitter for the kids, and enjoy the weekend with your significant other. That's another thing we talk about. We're always on the kids. But having that time with your significant other away from the kids is very vital.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you don't have the bond with your significant other, you can just throw it all away because it's not going to work. And spending time with them and sharing experiences with them, again, is a way to increase that bond. And there's a lot of things we can do out here. There's a lot of different activities. I'm thinking about that crazy, what is that thing called? Diva-Duck. You seen that?
Oh, the Diva-Duck, yes.
Is it Diva-Duck?
Yep, they take you through a tour downtown, and then it's in this big boat that's on wheels.
It's the craziest looking thing.
It's the craziest looking thing, and it's completely open, so you're seeing down all of downtown, seeing all the beautiful buildings that they've built down there, and then the car/boat itself drives right into the water.
Yeah, it's amphibious.
Yep.
You see these guys driving downtown in this crazy looking thing with a prop coming out the bottom, and one day I watched them. They just drove right into the water and drove off. And what do they do out there? I guess they take people just kind of looking around.
They take you for a tour around the Intracoastal and show you our waterways. You'll see some of the high rises, some of the multi-million-dollar homes, the multi-million-dollar boats.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, there are some beautiful homes in a place called Manalapan. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Oh, yeah.
There are some amazing homes that are off the Intracoastal that you could see. So I imagine that is a heck of a sight. Anyway, we are at 9:40, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to take another break. It will be the last break of the show. Please don't go away. We've got more to talk about. You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with Riscala and Devin. We will be right back.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event.
Promises to one's community.
Helping people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
You've seen how recent hurricanes have devastated whole communities, flooding and destroying homes. Join Habitat for Humanity as we work with families to repair and rebuild. You can help someone desperately in need of a place to call home. We will rebuild, but only with your help. Visit Habitat.org to support Habitat's work.
Hello, I'm Hector Elizondo, and I want to talk to you about getting older. My body hurts, my joints ache, and sometimes I forget. I forget that doing all your own scenes for a movie isn't always the best decision, especially when you're galloping high speed on a horse named Archibello. So yes, my body hurts, but it's not because of my age. It's because I'm living my life.
Don't let life pass you by. Take care of your brain health. It may just help you stay on top of your game.
Oh, Archibello!
Learn more at brainhealth.gov.
Hey y'all, Cedric the Entertainer here with Niecy Nash, taking a break from shooting The Soul Man to introduce you to Patience.
Hi.
Patience is a patient at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Families never receive a bill from St. Jude for anything because all a family should worry about is helping their child live.
St. Jude won't give up until they end childhood cancer, sickle cell, and other deadly diseases.
Because of you, there is St. Jude.
Learn more at stjude.org.
My vehicle was sent 6 feet in the air in a ball of fire. I thought I was going to die.
It ripped my arm off. It broke my right femur.
I took such a hard blow to the head that my retina was torn apart.
Say a prayer for peace.
I'm Trace Adkins. I want to tell you about these true American heroes and how you can show your thanks by helping them through Wounded Warrior Project.
They've reached out to us as a family, and they never forgot about us.
The job of helping thousands of our wounded warriors rebuild their lives is massive and growing every day. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Many of these service members suffer traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder.
They helped me basically put my life back together.
If it wasn't for Wounded Warrior Project, I would be a statistic right now. I would have been one of those soldiers who came home and committed suicide.
I'm in the fields of Vietnam, the mountains of Afghanistan.
Your gift today of $19 a month can help us provide the programs and services desperately needed by our wounded service members. Call or go online with a pledge and you'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket. Make that call now.
Say a prayer for peace.
You're listening to WDBFradio.com, a tune-in station.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. Stop fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Okay, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen in and allow us to share with you the information that we have. I have a wide variety of guests that come on. The purpose of doing what we do is to try to give you information that would help you in whatever that outdoor adventure might be, whether it's fishing, kayaking, snorkeling, boating, hunting, whatever that might be. It's information that we hope that you can use to help you have a better time, to make better use of that time. And one of the things we've kind of harped on today is the family. This is something that's very important to me. And fishing is one of the ways that you can help bond the family together. There are so many activities that we can do around Florida, but of course, Florida being the way that it is, we are surrounded three sides by water. So water is one of the most prominent things that is in our lives, particularly in my life. And growing up, fishing was second nature. My dad taught me how to fish, thank him and thank God, and took the family fishing on a regular basis. And it was a way for us to bond as a family. It is an amazing experience. I'll tell you, if you haven't done it, you're really missing out on something that is really a lot of fun and can really help build your experience with regard to bonding with the family. So anyway, my next guest is Robert Warner, and Robert is with Fishing Florida Magazine, and Robert always has so much interesting information for us. Good morning, Robert. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Good morning from Florida Fisherman Magazine. How are you doing this morning?
I am doing well, my friend. Tell us a little bit about what's going on up there.
Well, it's funny. I was just listening to you talking about the family and fishing, and we're getting ready to do a couple of things on the website. We're going to add the family fishing page that was from Facebook to our website. So We'll have that on there, and we're going to start another section called Your Outdoors, which will cover more than just fishing. It'll cover hiking, camping, hunting, biking, mountain bikes, all of those things. So, and then kayaking and on and on and on. It'll give people a way to share their information on all of these different outdoor activities that you can share with your family. So it's going to be a good thing, and we're going to look forward to adding that over the next couple of months here to the website. So it'll be good.
And the website, what is the website, Robert?
It's flfishmag.com.
And we can find that easily online. And
absolutely.
Do you, how often is it updated? Is it updated a week, a month, what?
It's updated every month. We run contests every month, and we have a new issue out every month. The magazine comes out every month. It's on the website, too. It's actually the first page of the website is the magazine. You just click the picture, and it opens the magazine. And but we update it every month. There are some parts that are updated throughout the month, but mostly it's updated once a month.
And
but there's been some great fishing going on out there.
Yeah, I apologize. I talked over you a little bit there. There's a bit of a delay,
No.
so I have to be careful. Otherwise, I'll be talking over you. With regard to any fishing tournaments or derbies for kids or anything like that?
Well, yeah, that's what we're going to take the Tackle Boxes, Not Xboxes program that we have promoted for the last 3 summers, and we're going to move that to the family fishing section of the website. And yes, we're going to be doing not only some offshore contests for kids, we're going to be doing some inshore, like pier fishing contests for kids, bridge fishing contests for kids, stuff that everybody could easily get to. So you don't need a boat, you won't need anything but a way to get to the water. So,
and a fishing rod, of course.
And a fishing rod and some bait, but that should be easy enough.
Now, Robert, you're where? Are you in Central Florida?
I am in Jensen Beach, about 40 miles north of Palm Beach.
Okay, so you're on the East Coast. What's going on up there off the coast? Do you have any fishing report for offshore?
I've got some fishing reports for just about everywhere. Fishing around the state has been excellent. After that last cold front, it pushed a lot of fish in to close to inshore. There's some great redfish fishing on the west coast going on, and on the northern part of the East Coast. Sheep's head fishing is great everywhere right now. And if anybody has never eaten a sheep's head, they need to, because that is one great eating fish. The snapper bite's good everywhere. There's cobia in close. The sailfish bite is still great everywhere, at least south. From, I would say, about where we are all the way down through the Keys, the sailfish bite is just incredible right now. There was a tournament going on this weekend. I think they caught and released over 100. And the nice part about the sailfish is you'll get the occasional big mahi in there with them. So you not only get something to catch and release, you get something to take home for dinner. So
I call that the chicken of the sea.
Yeah, they are. They are tasty. And there's a variety of ways you can cook those, and we're going to be covering some of that in the magazine coming up too. Different ways to cook some of these things. But there's a gentleman up in Vero who does a show called Cooking and Catching, and we're going to be up there with him. The fish, take them back to his house, and he's going to show you how to cook them. So.
Well, I got to tell you that I have cooked dolphin so many different ways, and regardless of whether it's baked, whether it's barbecued, whether it's fried, it always comes up delicious. Always comes up delicious. One of my favorite eating fishes is dolphin. And you talk about the sheephead. I don't know if this is a fair comparison, but sheephead and tuna remind me kind of sort of like a pig of the water. They're just full of meat, full of just excellent tasting meat. And it's something to cherish that when you go fishing, if you can catch sheephead, oh my goodness, if you can catch dolphin, I promise you it's pretty hard to mess that up.
Well, and it's funny because, like I said, a lot of people have probably never eaten sheep's head, and sheep's head's only diet is shrimp and crabs. So if you take into account what they eat, you can pretty much get an idea of what they're going to taste like. So you can't go wrong with sheep's head ever, because their diet is pretty consistent with just shrimp and crabs. So it's a good tasting fish. And but there's some other, there's obviously snapper and all of those are great too, but it's one of my favorites. There's some other great stuff coming up from around the state, and we had a meeting the other day with Tony Ludovico, who is a world-renowned marine photographer. He's going to be doing some stuff for the magazine. We're going to be promoting more conservation this year in the magazine. But there's just a lot of great stuff going on out there. We're going to have reports all over from everywhere coming in now. We're going to have reports coming from Africa, Louisiana, Texas, Costa Rica, Cabo, California. So we'll have not only fishing reports from Florida, we're going to have fishing reports from around the country and pretty much around the world coming in soon. So people can keep track of everything on there.
I'm getting jealous here. My goodness. So we'll have fishing reports from all over the place, just like the Fish Florida show almost. We're working on all over the place. We're getting there. It's taking us a little while, but
your show's great,
we're working our way up.
I get a chance to listen to it now every weekend, and you're really doing a nice job, and I appreciate the fact that you're promoting the families and trying to get families together, which is one of the reasons we've gone to these other programs, the family fishing, and we've got another one coming called Your Outdoors. Like I said, which will include kayaking and everything else. It's important to get the family out there, get them together, let them spend some time outdoors, away from their electronics and away from their friends and away from each other, you know, so that they all have to, so the family group can bond. It's important. And I think it's something that, because of all the instant gratification of electronics, it's something that's gone by the wayside over the years, and we're going to do our part to make sure it comes back. So.
Yeah, and you know, you bring up a good subject. It's not just the instant gratification. It's our society that has been leaning towards this. Everything is disposable. Everything, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a child, whether it's a TV, whether it's a computer, whether it's a cell phone, everything is disposable. And when I was growing up, it was the complete opposite. Believe it or not, when I was growing up and our TV broke down, there was a man that showed up at our house to fix the television. We didn't take it out to the curb and go out and buy another one. We actually paid somebody to fix that.
Yeah, it's funny. We were talking the other day. My wife and I were talking about, do you remember changing the channel with a knob?
Yeah. I was the remote for my parents. It was me.
That's right. They'd go put it on channel 3.
But the importance of what I'm saying is that there was a time in this country when we worked at repairing things and not just disposing of things. And for many, many years, we have been in this dilemma, I call it, of disposables. Everything is disposable. This is why I go back to the family. My dad, God bless him, he took us fishing at least 2 times and usually 3 times a month as a family. We did it as a family unit. And it is to this day that my brother is my best friend. I would do anything for my brother. I see other families who didn't experience the same things that we did, and the brother and the sister or the brother and the brother are enemies. They're just outright enemies. They can't stand to even be next to each other. I feel sad for them.
Yeah.
Because
or they haven't seen each other in 10 years. So.
To make America great, America's greatness comes from the people. The people and the families are what's going to make this country great again. And that's why I work so strongly and so passionately about families. Families are our backbone. They are what America is. And if we don't have family units, really it works against society. Ultimately, it works against us, individuals. Because if our society begins to break down, it's going to have an effect on you personally.
And I think you and I might be a little older than some of the people listening, but I remember every Sunday the family got together to watch Ed Sullivan. And I'm sure that every family from my generation did. It was something the family did, and they don't even watch TV together anymore. They all got a separate TV in a separate room. Yeah. We had one TV. If you were watching TV, you were watching with the family. So. You know,
typically in my home growing up, there was one television, and that was it.
Yeah.
And like we said earlier, it was either I or my brother. We were the remotes for that television. Put it on channel so-and-so, put it on channel so-and-so. But it was done as a family. When we watched television, it would be my mom and dad and me and my brother watching television. I never really understood any of that growing up. I just took it for granted. Now that I'm older and I realize all of the pressure that is on the family to stay together. There are so many pressures, whether that's financial, emotional, spiritual. There are so many different avenues that are being put on the family to divide that family up, arguing about the silliest things in the world. When you spend time with someone, and I know this is kind of harping, when you spend time with someone and you share the same experience with them, I promise you that if you do it in a manner of love, your bond between the two of you will increase. It will be more difficult for the society, for the system in the society that wants to tear us down. It would be more difficult for them to do that.
I agree 100%, and that's why we do what we do. And I would love to see, more people out there taking a bike ride together as a family, go kayaking as a family, go fishing as a family, go camping, go hiking. There's so many things we can do in this state because of the weather that we have. There's really no excuse to not get your family together, get them outside, go charter a boat for the day, go, take your family for a hike for the day. Everybody get on your bike and decide where you're going to go and go take a bike ride and have lunch together. There's just so much to do. And our weather is so perfect. Anybody that hasn't been outside today is missing a just incredibly beautiful day.
Oh my goodness!
I encourage you to all get out there today. Matter of fact, we'll be out at the Stewart Boat Show It's a beautiful day. If you're out there, come on by and see us. We're going to be wandering around. Tyler and myself from the magazine are going to be wandering around talking to everybody. So, you know, it's a great day. Just everybody get outside and do something. It's beautiful out.
It truly is. And, you know, you went from one horizon to the next. You said go out in a boat, go charter a boat, or go for a bike ride. So if you don't have the money to go for a boat, you can go for a bike ride. Robert, thank you so much for taking the time to call in. I truly appreciate it. I hope to be speaking with you again. You're always full of very interesting information. I appreciate you taking the time to call in. Thank you so much.
Well, we love being on, and anytime you need us, we're here. You guys have a great Sunday, and we'll catch you later.
God bless you, my friend. Enjoy. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to the Fish Florida Show with Riskala and Devin, and I want to thank you. It is you who keep us going. I wish you a great weekend. We'll be back.